What a game, what an experience, what a journey. I have so much to say about the Silent Hill 2 remake, man. This game absolutely changed me. This is a game that really impacted me. Like, you do not get games like this nowadays. It's very rare, and I'm just amazed on how good this game actually was. Now, I thought this game was going to be great. Obviously, since I've been covering the Silent Hill 2 remake on this channel, I've been very optimistic, very pro Silent Hill 2, unlike a lot of channels, you know what I'm saying? And I got some flack for that, but I don't give a damn. I stand on whatever I say. Like I said, I was expecting this game to be great, but not this damn good. This is one of the best remakes of all time. I'm talking like I have this up there with the RE4 remake and the RE2 remake. Now, I didn't say it was better, so let's not do the comparison. I know Silent Hill fans been kind of wilding out saying it's better than RE4 and all this other stuff. That those are two different games. One's an action game, one's a horror game. Let's just enjoy the remake and have it up there with the greats. Now, in this video, I really just want to give my thoughts and opinions on the game. There is going to be spoiler talk because I just have to talk about certain things. So if you have not finished the game, I suggest, finish the game, come back and listen to what I got to say some other time. And this is also not a comparison to the original because if you've been on this channel, you know I have not played the original. I've played Silent Hill 1, 3, and 4. I hate that I have to keep saying this, but you guys know new people come to the channel, and I've gotten some very ignorant Silent Hill fans on my channel before, so I have to just let this be known. So again, this is not me comparing this to the original. This is me just talking about this as a video game, a horror game, all that good stuff. And I think it's better to just look at the game in that light to begin with instead of just comparing it to the original. Because what a lot of people don't understand when it comes to remakes, this is a game built from the ground up. Yes, the ideas were there previously, but this is basically damn near a new game. It is built from the ground up. So before I start this video, if you love Silent Hill content, Resident Evil content, or just gaming topics, discussions, controversies, reaction, all that good stuff, I do it all on this channel, but I've been covering a lot of Silent Hill lately. This is just a special time for Silent Hill fans and horror fans like myself, so I've definitely been going crazy with the Silent Hill content. So again, if that sounds good, hit that like and subscribe button. Almost to 1,000, baby. Let's get there. So the Silent Hill 2 remake is a game growing up I always heard was one of the best games ever and the best horror game of all time. I've heard all the discourse around Silent Hill 2, and now I completely understand why. Silent Hill 2 is a game that I have in the Hall of Fame. And what do I mean by that? I don't use this word too often when it comes to games because I feel like this is a word you just don't go around just freely using, and that is that this game is a masterpiece. That's why it's in the Hall of Fame for me. To this point, I've only called 3 other games complete masterpieces, and that is Nier Automata, Persona 3 Reload, and Red Dead Redemption 2. Because these are games that had impact. They left a mark on me that hit me emotion wise that no other game could possibly do. And the themes and messages are absolutely important, and they just changed me. So I'm putting Silent Hill in that category. This game is an absolute masterpiece, and I'm not gonna lie, if you're still hating on this remake, I really just don't know what to tell you. I'm not somebody that's saying you should love the remake because I do or a bunch of other people do, but just blatantly hating on this remake, you just showing yourself as just ignorant, man. I'm sorry. So let's talk about it. The Silent Hill 2 remake, man. Oh my god, where do I start? Let's start with the atmosphere, the tension, and the horror of the game. All amazing. I mean, the fog, man. That is the best fog I have ever seen. I know there's a discourse with some people that love the PS2 fog a little bit more, and the PS2 days when it came to fog, because if you play Silent Hill 2 or if you played a game like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, fog was used back then to cover up the fact that from a distance a lot of the map or whatever wasn't done, so it covered that up, and that's what a lot of games used to do back then, and it turned out looking fire. But you would be lying if you said this remake fog is not amazing. I barely see anything. Like I barely see creatures moving. You might think you see things, but you really don't. That's how crazy the fog is in this game. Like, I was blown away on how scary the fog is actually. Like, I promise you, I thought I seen enemies and I didn't, but then when I seen them from a distance, I barely seen them. You just never knew what was coming out of that fog. Definitely didn't want to sprint through it because you didn't know if you was just gonna get jumped on or something. The fog was absolutely nuts. I love it. And what I love too as well, I see in Chronos the New Dawn, the new Bluebird team game that's coming out next year, they have similar looking fog in that game. So I'm glad they're gonna keep using that. Really love about this game as well is that Bloober Team did not completely try to put, a bunch of jump scares in the game as well, because modern day horror features a lot of jump scares, and some people love jump scares or whatever. I find it real cheesy and corny, and it's not real horror in my opinion. It's just a cheap way to get a rise out of somebody. Just because somebody jumps and you keep throwing in jump scares doesn't make a game or a movie horror. So I'm extremely glad Bloober Team didn't put a bunch of bullshit in the game. At the most in this game, it's like one or two jump scares, and they're well done jump scares at that. So I'm glad they didn't completely try to put a new modern spin on Silent Hill. But when you're walking through these environments, I'm talking like the hospital where it's just completely dark and you got lights flickering. It's absolutely terrifying just navigating these areas, especially with the little radio frequency, and then some enemies you don't even get the radio frequency sound. You just have to pay attention. Let's get on through. Oh my god! And there's like enemies like the stripper leg enemy or whatever. That's what I call them. That just legit hide from you, and you have to pay attention. If you don't, you're getting boo bopped in your head, or they might jump on you and you're taking heavy damage. Like, you really have to pay attention and be real immersed in the environment, and that just makes everything terrifying. Like, I was scared to open doors. I was scared to read notes. There's been a couple times where I like picked up notes and I'm trying to read, and I slowly hear the door open, and it's a fucking nurse. That shit was horrifying. You have to play this game with headphones on. It's just a whole different experience. I promise you, there was times in the hospital where I'm hearing like whispers in my ear. The shit was insane. Silent Hill 2 Remakes just drives home the fact that horror is just not what it's supposed to be or what it used to be. That's why I always admire the Silent Hill franchise as a horror series, because they did legit horror. It was never no cheap jump scares. It's just legit tension, scares, and just the unknown. That's what made it so great. I love psychological horror. It's the best type of horror that you can have. So again, I'm hoping to God the success of this game means more Silent Hill games. I don't care if it's a remake. I don't care if it's a new original Silent Hill game. I just need this franchise back up and running. I really love this about the game as well. The gameplay is so much better than the original. But Bloober Team did not go over the top with the combat to make it feel like an action game. Now, what I mean by that is, if you ever played the original Silent Hill game, you are legit real and you actually are a fan of Silent Hill, you have to admit the gameplay fucking sucked back in the day. There's no way to like just BS it. And this is no way me just shitting on the older games just because the gameplay is better in Silent Hill 2. I've always felt like this. The gameplay is absolutely terrible. The game was never fun to play back in the day. It was clunky. It just never felt good. It's an upgrade, but it's not a significant upgrade to the fact that James feels like this badass action hero that's just dropping everything in his path. He still feels like this desperate man just trying to survive these fucking creatures. The addition that really helped the gameplay, in my opinion, it was the dodge mechanic. Now, I know some people may have problems with it. I haven't seen it, me personally, like people complaining about the dodge mechanic, but I know they're out there. The dodge mechanic, it was needed in my opinion, because in real life, if you are getting swung at, you are going to try to dodge. It doesn't matter what it is. You're going to try to dodge. You're not just going to be swinging hopelessly and just sitting there taking damage. And it feels good to dodge. And I love the fact that the enemies dodge as well. The nurses, they basically parry your shit. If you keep trying to just swing and swing and swing, they'll just grab your pipe or whatever, push you back, and then keep trying to attack you. It made the gameplay so much more engaging, but they didn't take it over the top. It still feels very Silent Hill. So I have to give them kudos on that, because I really thought they were going to make this feel like maybe like RE4 or something. I know it looked like that when they had the early teaser for the gameplay and everything. It looked like James was going to be Leon. It really did. It looked like Silent Evil 2 at one point, but I'm glad to say that they did not make it that way. It still feels very Silent Hill, just with a great upgrade. The gunplay feels amazing as well. James doesn't have this killer ass aim, so if you're shooting out of desperation, you're going to be hitting fucking ceilings and walls and all that other stuff. You're not just going to be taking down enemies with ease. So I thought that would have been the hardest thing for Bloober Team to get done, but no, they killed it with the gameplay, absolutely. So probably my favorite point in this game is just the characters and the voice acting, just how the scenes were executed, man. Like James' voice actor, and don't get me wrong, all the voice actors in this game absolutely did their numbers. Rent was due; they went fucking crazy. But James' voice actor, man, I don't know his name. I gotta look it up after this video, but boy, did he kill every fucking scene. All the raw emotions from James when he's falling to his knees and he's screaming. All the fucking emotion. I mean, all of it. I was so blown away on how the scenes were done. Oh, hey, 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 hey.
I'm sorry.
What the fuck?
I've been bad. Please don't.
I know there was skepticisms with the voice acting, especially like Angela's, because in the trailer, the line delivery didn't seem like it was there all the way. I know I wasn't the only one feeling like that, but boy, in this game, the line delivery is crazy. Like everybody does a fucking amazing job. Eddie's voice actor is freaking amazing as well. All of them are. I love Maria's voice actor. I know people were concerned about that as well. Every scene was absolutely captured beautifully. The voice actors need to leave with some freaking awards this year, definitely, especially James' voice actor. Oh boy, let me talk about this damn story, man. Like Jesus, I could not believe how gut-wrenching this story actually was. Running into these characters in Silent Hill, Eddie, Angela, and Maria, just blew me away. The game is so fucking tragic. I would say it's beautifully tragic. Like every character was going through something. And what makes this game so special in my opinion is that characters like Angela and Eddie, and I'm pretty sure we all know what Angela went through. You know, I don't want to say the word because I don't know how YouTube is going to react to that, but abuse and all this other stuff that Angela was going through. We all know somebody growing up or currently right now. We know a female that went through something like that. And seeing it in real life, it does to a person psychologically, and then seeing it portrayed in the game, seeing how in the town of Silent Hill, like she just seen her abusive dad all over the place, and in James' eyes, he sees this big badass terrifying creature. Like how each character sees the world differently in Silent Hill, it was just done masterfully. Of course, we all know somebody like Eddie. Shit, we probably all was Eddie at some point, especially if you had a little weight on you back in the day, being called fat and bullied and all that stuff. A lot of people know how that feels. We know people that's been dealing with that. We know what toll it takes on that person's mind. So seeing Eddie completely like lash out because the town is fucking with his brain, that's all he sees is the people that makes fun of him. Fucking loved it, man. I fucking loved it. The story is done so great. I see why this game is regarded as the best game ever. It's not always about the gameplay. It's really about the story, as you can see with games like Last of Us and Nier Automata and stuff like that. Even though I would say Nier Automata has very good gameplay, but the story is so freaking deep, and it once you finish playing the game, it leaves a mark on you. Silent Hill 2 is no different. These characters are tragic as hell, especially Maria. I don't think anybody's more tragic than Maria. Maybe Angela, but Maria's a character that really left a mark on me as well, because her being a character that was literally just created out of thin air from the town just to test James throughout his journey in Silent Hill is fucking sad as hell. She's literally a character that's basically a fucking test subject. I mean, she's put out there, she's killed multiple times, she's dealing with James' rejection when all she won is James. That character really fucked me up. It really hurt my soul. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that character is so freaking sad. And then at the end, she fights back from what the town is, you know, making her do, and she's actually going into business for herself, and it still doesn't work because James just doesn't want her. Like, out of all characters I've been playing my whole life, that character is forever going to be engraved in my head. Her and Angela, Eddie too, but her and Angela are just some of the most tragic characters ever. The point in the story where I really just, I could not believe it was the videotape, the infamous videotape scene, man. I remember watching the trailers, I was reading comments, and people were like, oh my, they put the videotape scene in the trailer like this, like off rip. And I you know, I didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just sitting there, I'm like, okay, what's the big deal with the videotape scene? And boy, when I say my jaw hit the fucking floor, the whole time, I mean, even after the scene finished, I promise you, I just stared at my screen for at least 15 to 20 minutes. Like, I'm not even bullshitting, I'm not even gassing it, because I really didn't see it coming. I know it was teased earlier in the game, and I think it was by Lord, no, it was by Angela actually, and James sat there and was like, oh, no way, or whatever. So I kind of peeped, but I didn't think too much of it. But finding out that the person you're playing as Even though the whole I'm trying to find my wife, I thought that shit was just so stupid because I'm like, clearly his wife is dead and he just lost his mind. But it was just deeper than that. The trauma he was dealing with, him trying to him lying to himself this whole time to get past the fact that he's a piece of shit of a human being. Like finding out that you're basically playing the villain the whole game is something that just hit me hard, man. I just couldn't believe James was just a piece of shit like that. And how brilliant this game is, I remember in certain sections that you hear a gasp. Like I know in the beginning when you're walking under the bridge, you hear like a female gasp or something like that. And it turns out that was his fucking wife, bro. They teased this shit from the beginning. From the beginning, before you even get into Silent Hill. I think that shit is just so beautifully done. The way they did the story was fucking incredible. And there's so many layers to the story. You literally can go back and you find out shit that you missed on your first playthrough. Hell, you might miss on your second and your third playthrough. Like it's just crazy the amount of layers that this game has. You do not get that in gaming nowadays. That is exactly why I fucking love Remake. They're not easy to do like people think they are. Some people just think, oh, the foundation is there and it's that easy. They didn't have to really put in work in. No, to do a remake, you have to have so much love and passion for the original project. You cannot pick up a project like a Resident Evil or a Silent Hill and just say, hey, fuck it, we're gonna remake it and it's just gonna come out perfect. It doesn't work like that. You have to respect the original. And me not even playing the original, I know Bloober Team followed the blueprint of the original. I know it. I just feel it. I know what Silent Hill is, man. And as you guys are watching this video, I'm probably already deep into my Silent Hill 2 OG playthrough right now. I told myself after I finish the remake, I am absolutely going to go play the original. So in due time, you guys will hear how I feel about the original as well. So it's safe to say the Silent Hill 2 remake was a massive success. I mean, the game sold over 1 million copies in like a couple days. 1 million copies for a game that was heavily criticized and people wanted to fail so badly. It's just an amazing feat for Bloober Team. And if you really are in these gaming streets like that, you know the competition Silent Hill 2 was up against. The Nostalgia Beast and Spark and Zero came out a few days after it. Metaphor ReFantasia, which is a Game of the Year candidate, came out a few days after that as well. Like Silent Hill was against some heavy hitters, and the fact that it's this successful, especially a horror game, Silent Hill to do the numbers that it did in a few days is absolutely astronomical, and you have to give Bloober Team their flowers. Before I even get to the conclusion of this video, I forgot to even mention how amazing these boss fights were. The Eddie boss fight was fucking amazing. This was one of the best horror boss fights ever, in my opinion. I fucking love this fight. The fight was so intense and fun, and at this point, I seen the original Eddie fight in the OG version because I seen somebody say that the OG fight was better. I just had to look it up after I did the remake fight, and boy, if y'all don't stop the fucking cap, I know y'all want to hate the remake so bad, but at some point y'all have to stop fucking lying to y'all. So there is no way that the OG fight was even remotely close to the remake fight. The OG fight was absolutely fucking awful. This is no way, shape, and form me trying to bash the original. The original, to a lot of people, is a classic. Like I said, by the time you were watching this, I'm in the middle of my playthrough, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I played it fully yet. But this is not me just shitting on the original. I just want people to stop acting like the remake is some watered down version of the original and not a superior version. I've talked to a lot of my homies that are diehard Silent Hill fans, and even out their mouths, they're saying this game is way better than the original. I'm somebody that goes by majority rule. If majority of people say the game is either that damn good, a masterpiece, or better than the original, that's what I go with. I'm not, of course, not everybody in the world is going to feel the same way. That would make shit not fun in life. But, and I'm not sitting here telling you, hey, you have to love the remake. You have to feel like the remake is better. Because some people just love the charm and the clunkiness and the goofiness of the original game. And that's perfectly fine. But again, my message to people about the Silent Hill 2 remake, stop forcefully hating the remake, because at the end of the day, you're not going to change a lot of people's opinion when it comes to the remake. It's one of the greatest remakes of all time to a lot of people. You can feel as negatively as you want towards the remake, but it's not going to change the fact that the remake is successful. And Silent Hill is definitely going to get more remakes, and they're going to get more original games. Silent Hill is officially back, and if Bloober Team is behind the future of Silent Hill projects, we are in for a very, and I mean very amazing time. They are absolutely going to kill it. And Silent Hill, especially in the modern day, is going to be back to its original form. Horror is back. Silent Hill is back. We still have Resident Evil. It's just an amazing time to be a gamer. If you would have told me years ago that Silent Hill would have been resurrected and we would probably be fiending for more Silent Hill, I would probably tell you to piss off because I would have never believed it. I don't think people realize how long Silent Hill has been gone, man. Especially the good Silent Hill, not the bad or mediocre Silent Hill. I'm talking about prime Silent Hill. It looks like we're back, people, and I cannot wait. So now this is the official ending of this video. I want to say shout out to Bloober Team and thank you to Bloober Team. I don't think I would have had a better experience with Silent Hill 2 playing the original at this point in my life. This game has absolutely changed me. It has made me appreciate what horror really is even more. This is definitely an experience that I feel like majority of people need to have. This is definitely an all-time experience gaming wise. This is definitely an all-time experience story wise. This game is my favorite survival horror game of all time and one of my favorite games of all time. That's how much I love this remake. So again, shout out to Bloober Team. Got to give y'all flowers once again. What remake is coming next? Hopefully it's Silent Hill 4 because all of the damn Walter Sullivan mentions. I wonder if the original had this many Walter Sullivan mentions. I know probably the newspaper article, it seemed like that would be in the original, but the tombstone and the question about Miriam and Billy, I think the other kid name was, I wonder if that was in the original. But all those mentions of Walter and the Silent Hill 4 teasers, hopefully Bloober Team does Silent Hill 4 next. If you made it to the ending of this long ass love letter, I greatly appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you guys for all the love and support that you have shown on this channel. Thank you for all the comments. So that has been my TED Talk on Silent Hill. Stay safe out in these gaming streets. I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.